wanted to start off with, this is a special organization, and it touches me in a special way, and I want to share that personal story with y'all. I grew up in New York City, as you can tell by my thick New York accent, and that went away, obviously. And my mom was young, she divorced at an early age, so it was just my mom and I, and we grew up very, very poor in a pretty rough area in New York City. And at age 5, I remember having keys to my apartment, getting to my apartment, doing my homework. After school, she was working, so I would go across the street. And they had a club similar to what you guys have, and it was awesome for me, because as a kid, we didn't have any money, I didn't have any activities that I could do outside the street, and I would go to this particular boys club, and they would have basketball and arts and crafts and stuff, and I think in the long run, probably kept me out of trouble, because I was always at that facility. The summers, long months, my mom still had to work, so I would spend my summers there. So looking back, when I see an organization like this, I really want to thank everyone for being here, because it shows your support. Because that little child will eventually become someone, and that someone was today me. So thank you for supporting what an awesome organization, and I am very, very humbled to be here. With that said, let me share with you about Elite Care. Elite Care, an amazing organization. About 8 years ago, or maybe more actually, 10 years ago, I started working at local emergency rooms, and I won't mention which ones because I don't want to bias you to going to those particular facilities, but I personally felt that patients were not getting the care they needed. They would come in, I'd have 15 patients, they're like, Dr. Castro, come into room 4, I'd walk in, I'm like, okay, she's breathing, I'll be right back, go to the next one. Literally, I mean, it sounds horrible, but literally that's what we would do. And then, people that were obviously about to die, that's who I spent my time with. And then the other patients that unfortunately were also hurting wouldn't get the time, attention, care that I felt that my family member would deserve. And I remember just coming home tired, depressed, just going through my mind different cases and thinking, man, this is not healthcare. They're not getting what they need. So then Elite Care was opening at the Colony, and I decided, you know what, I'm tired of working in the main ER. I've done this for a long time. It's time for a change. And that's where I started working at Elite Care. Now, as you see around town, you'll see a bunch of freestanding emergency rooms. There's First Choice, there's others around the area. And I haven't personally been in one of those, but I can speak about our facility. Our facility, for sure, you will get amazing care. Not just because it's an amazing facility, because they have gone through as a company and they've trained the doctors to take care of the patients. And when I say that, in a different way, when you come into the emergency room, at our emergency rooms, often you'll be greeted by myself or one of our doctors that sits up front. Often we'll bring you back to the room. We'll see you pretty much as soon as you walk in. Half the time I don't even let the patient register. I'm like, just come back and we'll do it in the back, which is awesome. The other portion is we have an amazing staff. From the person, like he mentioned, when you first come in, you get an amazing front person, the clerk, and that he or she is just trained to just take care of you, triage you, get you right through. I'm not saying triage, but just get you registered. The nurses also, all our nurses have worked at the local emergency room for over 10 years, half of them, and they know what they're doing. They've taken care of kids, adults, trauma, you name it. So when you step in our facility, you're not stepping into a step-down unit. You're actually walking into a full emergency room. We can take care of babies. I've delivered babies. We've intubated. We do shoulders, mini surgeries, heart attacks, strokes. We carry TPA, which is the clot buster for strokes. So you will get top care. What I take pride in is that we have, like I said, excellent staff. I want to acknowledge Tracy. Can you stand up, please? Tracy's my nurse administrator, and she does an awesome job making sure that all of the people that are in our facility have been trained the Elite Care way. And let me just share a handful of examples. Number one, when you come into our facility and say we have to give you a certain medication and we can't let you drive, we'll actually take you home through an Uber, and we'll pay for it. Instead of admitting you to the hospital, there's certain diseases that will actually keep you there, give you IV fluids, IV antibiotics. we'll go the next step, and we'll go ahead and make your appointment for the cardiologist, for the urologist, for your primary care doctor. We'll call in your prescriptions before you leave, so that way when you're going to the pharmacy, it's there. Often patients come in at 2, 3 in the morning, so we'll make sure we give them that first dose, so when they go home the next morning, the medication is ready for them, and then they can just go home and rest. We have a patient advocate that's there. She'll actually help with our patients that are admitted, walk their dog, help them with whatever that needs to be done. So I really believe that our emergency room goes a step way beyond most other emergency rooms. But the bread and butter of our business, and I call it a business because that's what people see us as, it's really family. All our staff, we work together. They're all screened. If we see someone that's maybe having a bad day, we will work with our staff and say, hey, what's going on? Making sure that this doesn't affect our patient care. So I feel like Elite Care, for me at least, has become more of a family setting. Patients often come back and like, wow, is this your clinic? I'm like, actually, it's an emergency room. So I'm humbled because a lot of patients come back and they want to use us as their primary care provider. All our doctors are the same way. I encourage you guys, if you happen to be driving by Top Golf or going to Nebraska Furniture, swing by. Say, hey, Dr. Castro said I could get a tour. Just come by and we'll give you a tour. I'm serious. We will. I mean, that's an open invitation to everyone in this room, especially, again, you guys being part of this amazing organization. I am humbled just to stand here with you guys. So I really appreciate you guys. I'll be here throughout the night, so if you have any questions. Our staff is here. We have Artie, who's done an excellent job of marketing, and Tracy, and then Ann used to work at Elite Care. And if you need anything, just let me know. Thank you so much.